When you are motivated by disgust rather than devotion, when you are trying to hate yourself into a body that you can love, this simply does not work. We need to reframe this. True sustainable change as a byproduct of internal safety, not internal warfare.
Midlife in Motion is the podcast for women who want to reclaim their metabolism, maintain their mobility, and recognize their divine worth. I'm your host, Angie Collingwood, fitness and yoga instructor, body confidence, and menopause coach. This show bridges the gap between science and soul. We move beyond quick fixes to discuss the real pillars of longevity. Get ready to start dancing into midlife.
Welcome back, friends. Today we are talking about a dance I think every single one of us knows by heart. I like to call it the midlife two-step shuffle. You know the one, 2 steps forward and 1 step back. Our topic today is the biology of change, why 2 steps forward and 1 step back is actually progress. So let me paint a picture for you. And tell me if this sounds familiar. It is Sunday night and you are feeling deeply motivated. You are feeling incredibly inspired. You are stepping into the role of the Sunday night CEO of your life. You declare that starting Monday, everything changes. You're going to wake up at 5:30 a.m. to get that workout in, drink a gallon of water, and finally set that boundary and stop scrolling on your phone before bed. You've gone to the grocery store, you've bought all the kale, you've color-coded a brand new workout planner, and you are swearing to yourself, this is it. This is the week. Everything changes. Monday goes great. Tuesday is pretty good. On Wednesday, you are feeling like a superhero. But by Thursday night, you are utterly exhausted. You snap at everyone around you. The part of you that just wants to survive the rest of the evening is currently standing in the kitchen eating stale crackers directly over the sink, and you stay up until 2 a.m. doom scrolling. When this happens, your inner critic immediately jumps in and says, see, you have no willpower. You are lazy. You are never going to change. If this cycle resonates with you, I need you to hear something very clearly today. This is not a character flaw. It is not a lack of willpower, and it is certainly not a sign that you are broken. Making changes is not hard because you lack discipline or character. It is hard because you are literally fighting against your biology. Today, we are going to break down the science of why change is difficult. We are going to look at how to know if your current plan is actually triggering a threat response in your body. We will explore why your nervous system needs time to adjust, and most importantly, how to make the process of change significantly more fun. Make sure to check the show notes for more information on a fun, engaging program to help you manage your health goals in a way that changes this continuous stop-start cycle. So why does it feel like 2 steps forward and 1 step back? To understand why we sometimes sabotage our own progress, we need to understand how the primitive brain works. At its core, our brains are a prediction machine. Its number one priority is to keep you alive, and to do that, it craves predictability. To your brain, familiar equals safe. This is true even if the familiar thing is actively making you miserable. Let's say your habit is staying up late worrying. Logically, you hate doing this. You want to change it. But biologically, your brain knows exactly how this scenario plays out. You survived it yesterday, so it assumes you will survive it today. When you take those 2 steps forward into a new healthy behavior, your brain's alarm bells can go off because it feels exposed to the unknown. It might be thinking, wait, we don't usually do this. Are we in danger? So when you inevitably take that 1 step back and fall into your old habits on Thursday night, that is not a moral failure. That is simply a biological reflex. Your brain is momentarily retreating to the safety of the familiar to catch its breath. To understand why Thursday night completely derails the Sunday night CEO, we have to look at your brain. Specifically, I want you to imagine your nervous system as a highly sensitive, top-of-the-line home security system. Inside this house, you have 3 main players: First, there is your default mode network, or your DMN. Think of the DMN as the most comfortable worn-in couch inside the house. It loves autopilot. It loves the familiar habits you've had for 20 years, even if those habits aren't serving you anymore. It just wants to sit on the couch and conserve energy. Second, you have your Central Executive Network, or CEN. This is the ambitious homeowner. This is the Sunday night CEO who is trying to renovate the house, bringing in new habits like meal prepping, or finally start taking morning walks. And third, you have the Salience Network, or SN. This is your alarm sensor. For more information on these three parts of your security alarm, refer to episode 26, Why Do I Overthink Everything? I'll include the link in the show notes. Here is the most important thing you need to know about your primitive brain. It does not distinguish between a good change like drinking more water and a threat change like a tiger lurking in the bushes. It recognizes only two categories, familiar and unfamiliar. And to your nervous system, unfamiliar equals unsafe. When you try to overhaul your entire life overnight, the alarm blares, halting your progress. Your nervous system needs lag time. It needs time to realize that this new habit isn't a burglar trying to break in. It's just a friendly new neighbor bringing over a casserole. If we don't give our bodies time to feel safe with the new behavior, the alarm system will always panic and force us right back into that comfortable couch of our old habits. Why the nervous system needs time to adjust. The biggest mistake we make when trying to change our lives is falling into the too much, too fast trap. Try to overhaul our entire identity on a Monday morning. But when you change too much at once, you send your nervous system straight into a sympathetic response, which you probably know as fight or flight. Your nervous system operates within a window of tolerance. When you force a massive life change all at once, you blast right out of that window. Your nervous system overrides your logical brain and forces you to shut down to protect you. That is the Thursday night collapse. For more information on the window of tolerance and fight or flight, review episode 17, Why Do I Constantly Doubt Myself? And again, I'll include the links in the show notes. Your nervous system requires something called titration. This is introducing change one tiny micro step drop at a time. It needs slow, incremental evidence that this new behavior is safe before it will let its guard down. How do you know if you are fighting against your biology? I like to use something called the holding your breath test. Sign 1, you are relying entirely on willpower. Willpower is a finite resource in your logical brain. It burns out quickly when you are tired or stressed. If you feel like you are white-knuckling your life or holding your breath underwater, you are trying so hard to be, quote, good. But you know you eventually have to come up for air. And when you do, it might be a complete rebound or even a binge. Your biology will always win in the end. Remember, your body is trying to keep you alive the best way she can. Sign 2, you are experiencing chronic physical exhaustion. If your new routine is causing brain fog, poor sleep, or an elevated resting heart rate, your nervous system is treating your positive change as an active predator. It is keeping that alarm bell running just in case. This is why you might be feeling extra tired. Sign 3, you are using shame as fuel. This is the biggest one. When you beat yourself up, you activate the brain's default mode network, the DMN, which floods your body with cortisol. A stressed shame brain is focused on survival, not growth. It is neurologically impossible to learn a new habit efficiently when your brain thinks it's being attacked by your inner critic. When you are motivated by disgust rather than devotion, when you are trying to hate yourself into a body that you can love, this simply does not work. We need to reframe this. True sustainable change as a byproduct of internal safety, not internal warfare. Your body is a sacred vessel. She is not a broken project that needs to be managed or fixed. We want to normalize our inner conflict to calm the alarm system. I want to validate the part of you that desperately wants to feel vibrant, that wants to move your body and feel strong. But I also want to highly validate the part of you that is exhausted, overwhelmed by midlife changes, and just wants to hide under a blanket with some chocolate and Netflix. Instead of shaming the part of you that wants to quit, imagine that you are sitting down to meet with this part of you. What if we just pulled up a chair for her in our inner boardroom? What if we look at her and said, I see you. I know you're tired. You've been carrying a lot for decades. This allows curiosity over judgment. You have inherent divine worth. You do not have to earn your worth by having a perfectly executed morning routine or a spotless diet. When we bathe our rebellious parts in grace and self-compassion, the internal resistance actually melts away. Grace in the messy middle is what allows us to actually move forward. The antidote, changing your self-talk. This is why changing how we speak to ourselves is not just fluffy, feel-good advice. It is a mandatory intervention. When you make a mistake, speaking to yourself kindly will yield better results. So immediately speak to yourself with kindness, saying something like, of course this is hard. I am learning something new and my brain is just trying to protect me. You literally down-regulate your nervous system. You are signaling safety and you're pulling yourself out of fight or flight and back into your window of tolerance. Self-compassion is that neurological bridge that allows you to keep going. Now, let's talk about the elephant in the room, weight loss. When we hyper-focus on the scale, when we severely restrict our food, and when we shame ourselves for not being perfect, we are not motivating ourselves. We are sending massive danger signals to the brain. And friends, we are in midlife. Whether you are in perimenopause or menopause, your body is already navigating a massive hormonal transition. If we add the stress of a restrictive diet and a punishing workout on top of that, our cortisol will spike. Your primitive brain looks around and says, oh no, there is a famine and a tiger chasing us. Store all the energy we can around the midsection immediately. So how can I make the process of change more fun and kinder? How do we stop tripping the security alarm? If willpower and shame don't work, what does? Joy, play, and positive reinforcement is what actually works. Here is how you can make your biology work for you in a more fun and engaging way. First, build an evidence file of your positive qualities. The primitive brain has a negativity bias. It loves to remind you of all the times you've failed. We can actively interrupt this. When you are struggling with a new habit, intentionally list out your positive qualities and past successes. Tell yourself, I am incredibly resistant. I managed a massive move last year. I am a deeply loving parent. Reminding yourself of your strengths gives you a hit of serotonin and builds the exact confidence you need to take the next step. Second, use habit stacking or habit pairing. Link the hard new change to something you already genuinely love. Maybe you could choose to only listen to your favorite true crime podcast while you are doing your new workout. You are helping your brain anticipate the activity with excitement. You could look into your eyes in the mirror while brushing your teeth and remind yourself of your positive qualities. You could plan out your meals for the week while waiting to pick up your kids. What is a fun way for you to add a new habit to your existing routine? Third, gamify the micro wins. Stop only celebrating the destination. Break your change down into ridiculously small steps and celebrate them immediately. If your goal is to run a 5K, give yourself a mental high five just for putting on your running shoes. You could make a sticker chart, a victory playlist. You could high five yourself in the mirror. Play the add, don't subtract game. Focusing on what we have to restrict triggers that scarcity alarm in the brain. So instead, gamify what you can add to your day. Add a glass of water. Add a deep grounding breath at the stoplight. Add a moment of stepping outside into the sunlight. You could use a gamified app to turn your water intake and workouts into experience points for an avatar. Find what feels motivating for you. That tiny celebration releases dopamine. This is the molecule of motivation. Fourth, adopt the scientist mindset. Drop that pass-fail grade. We need to stop treating our health like a final exam that we are constantly failing. I want you to shift into scientist mode. Scientists don't cry and shame themselves when an experiment doesn't work out. They just look at the clipboard and say, fascinating data. Let's tweak the formula. They aren't judging their data. They just collect it. They say something like, interesting. The 5 p.m. run protocol didn't work today. I wonder why. Was I too hungry? This removes the shame entirely and turns change into a curious, playful experiment. I wonder. Be curious. Become a scientist. Put on your lab coat. Fifth, lower the bar until you can step over it. I know this feels exactly opposite of what we want. However, overwhelm is the enemy of fun. If a 45-minute workout feels like a biological threat right now, can we do a 5-minute kitchen dance party while mopping the floor? Absolutely. We often feel that if we eat and exercise perfectly, then we will meet our health and weight loss goals perfectly. We will then have the perfect body, and everyone will recognize how amazing we are. We will be admired by everyone. We will have the perfect life, and everything will be perfect. The more we obsess about the perfect plan, the more we think about food all day, the louder the brain gets. But what if it's not about perfection? What if the reason we haven't been able to make the changes or meet our health goal challenge is that we have been trying to do it perfectly? What if our nervous system isn't ready to make that change just yet? Then we just end up right back where we started. What if it's not about that big hurdle, but rather the tiny micro steps? If your health goals have gotten away from you this summer and you are ready for a fresh start, then I have something for you. This is your opportunity to make a mindset shift to find peace with your life, to heal your relationship with your body and your food, to regulate your nervous system in a way that will allow you to make the health changes you are seeking. If you are feeling incredibly exhausted by midlife stress and you are ready to stop fighting with your own body, I want to offer you a way forward. I am now accepting applications for a brand new, completely free program called U-Turn. This is a space built to help you reclaim your vitality, rewire your self-talk, and remember who you really are beneath all the noise. You don't have to keep struggling through this transition alone. It's time to build more confidence in who you are. Through strategic coaching, I can help you uncover those false hidden beliefs about your worth and your abilities that are holding you back. I can help you save time from searching social media hacks to find the true path of consistency in action to move the needle toward your health goals. So click the application link in the show notes today to reserve your spot and stay tuned for all the details coming very soon. This program is so important. It is something every woman needs. Together, we can change the world. Please invite a woman you know who needs to believe in her value. Together, we can accomplish great things. The takeaway from today's episode: change is hard, even the gentle changes, because your biology is fiercely committed to keep the familiar, which equals safety. But you are not a victim of your biology. You are the compassionate CEO of it. When we stop judging ourselves for how hard it is to leave the food or drop the inner critic or skip the drive-thru, and we start getting curious about what our nervous system is trying to tell us, that is when the resistance melts. That is when change stops being a battle and starts becoming a homecoming. As we wrap up today, I want you to remember this. Change is not a straight line. It is a spiral. These steps backward are not a sign that you are broken or lazy. They are just your biology asking for a little reassurance that you are safe. This week, I want to challenge you to stop bullying yourself into becoming a better person. Speak kindly to yourself when you stumble. Remind yourself of all the beautiful, positive qualities you already possess. Shrink the size of your steps, and above all, start finding ways to make the journey more playful and fun. Tune in next week as we continue to dive deeper into why we are so desperate for instant results on our path to change. And remember to apply to my new program. You are worthy of feeling good just as you are right now in this exact season of your life. Your body is doing the best she can to protect you, to fight for your life, to survive. Thank her, give her some grace, and let's start taking those gentle steps forward. You are doing so much better than you think you are. Keep taking up space. Keep giving yourself grace. Have a wonderful week, and I will see you back here next time.
You are building a foundation for the next 40 plus years of your life, brick by brick, breath by breath. You are a miracle. Treat yourself like one. If you know a woman who needs to hear this, please share this episode and remember to subscribe. I'm Angie Collingwood. Keep moving and dancing. This is Midlife in Motion. I'll see you soon.